What is up, guys? Delboy here. So some very interesting news coming out of the heavyweight division. Tyson Fury has signed a co-promotional deal with Top Rank and Espn. That is for his next 5 fights, and it could be worth up to £80 million. That is a huge deal, especially for a British fighter in America. But how does this deal affect the heavyweight division? Now, a lot of people are saying this could jeopardise the Deontay Wilder rematch, and you have to agree. I mean, obviously Fury is now with Warren, Top Rank, and also on ESPN in the States, and as we know, Al Heyman doesn't really do business for the most part with Top Rank. So that is the initial barrier, but also this Tyson Fury deal is an exclusive deal with ESPN, so he can't fight on any other network in the United States. And again, that is another potential problem when making this fight. Now, I don't believe Deontay Wilder has an exclusive deal with Showtime, but, you know, that's where Deontay Wilder fights, and he's shown a reluctance to fight anywhere else. So the whole TV side of things, I would imagine, is going to be a big problem. So in short, this fight could be in real jeopardy now. From what I hear, both teams are still talking, and I heard, I think somebody on the Wilder side of things say that, you know, both networks could get involved, but is that really a realistic possibility? I mean, the first fight did around, what, 250,000 pay-per-view buys in America, or maybe 300,000. Is that enough for 2 TV networks to get involved? I do know the second fight will do a lot better on pay-per-view, but will it do substantially better where it becomes viable for 2 TV companies to be involved? I don't know. I really don't know. So I do believe this rematch is in doubt, and maybe now the onus is on Deontay Wilder to actually fight on ESPN to make this fight happen, because as I said, I'm pretty sure, well, from what I've been told, Wilder doesn't have an exclusive deal with Showtime, so maybe Deontay Wilder might have to jump on ESPN to get this fight popping. And, you know, another thing I want to mention, does this mean that Tyson Fury is the A side over Deontay Wilder? Now, I mentioned after the first fight on Twitter that I felt Tyson Fury drove the interest for that first fight. He drove the business, he drove the pay-per-view buys, because before the fight, the story was pretty much about Fury's comeback, his battle against mental health and addiction. He was taking up the headlines. That was before the fight. During the fight, it was all about Fury's performance, you know, how he arguably got robbed, and after the fight, everybody was talking about how Fury got off the canvas in round 12, and it was almost seen as like a culmination of the journey Fury had been through at that point, you know, overcoming all of the hurdles he had to overcome. And in the first fight, let's be honest about it, the story was Tyson Fury, and he got a lot more attention than Deontay Wilder. People were really invested in Tyson Fury, and that's why he's got this deal. There's a lot of interest in Tyson Fury. He's commercially viable, and maybe now he's overtaken Deontay Wilder to become the second biggest draw in the heavyweight division. Because to me, you know, Fury is a bigger name than Deontay Wilder worldwide, no doubt about it, not even a debate. And I truly believe he was the guy who drove that first pay-per-view to do well. So maybe, from a financial point of view, Wilder is actually the B-side, and he needs to get his ass on ESPN to get this rematch. You can make the argument, in my opinion. You can also flip it and say, well, Wilder's the champion, and from a purist's point of view, he should be the A-side because he has the belt. I totally get that viewpoint as well. In fact, that is the viewpoint I would rather see. But, you know, we live in reality. And at this point, Fury's got money behind him, and maybe he's the A-side now. Another thing I wanted to touch on, with Fury signing this deal, I think naturally we all agree that it makes it harder for the fight to be made. And let's say the fight doesn't happen because of this TV deal. Would you view that as a duck from Tyson Fury? Would you view it as Fury ducking Deontay Wilder? My opinion is this: maybe. Totally depending on who Tyson Fury actually fights. Let's say he doesn't fight Deontay Wilder next because of his TV deal. If he fought somebody like Luis Ortiz or Dillian Whyte, do you know what? They're good fights. I wouldn't be mad. But if he doesn't fight Wilder next and he ends up fighting somebody like Oscar Rivas, for example, or even Kubrat Pulev, then yeah, I would say it's a bit of a duck, to be quite honest with you. It would be totally dependent on who Fury fought. If he fought a low level of opponent, then I won't be happy about it. But, you know, it's kind of up in the air at the moment. I still hope the rematch happens. I think that's the best fight for both fighters in the division. I think the first fight obviously needs a rematch. Controversial decision. It was a draw. We need a definitive outcome. So, yeah, I want to see the rematch. But at this stage, you know, Deontay Wilder, he needs to, well, maybe he needs to go to ESPN to get this fight happening, because I find it hard to see ESPN and Showtime collaborating to put on a joint pay-per-view. I just don't think there's enough interest in this fight to do that, to be quite honest. How do you see this scenario? I think it's a bit of a weird one. Obviously, we're going to have to wait until more details emerge. But, you know, Wilder's team didn't even know about this deal for Tyson Fury. So, you know, you'd imagine there's going to be a few phone calls tonight back and forth between Team Wilder and Team Fury. I'd love to be a fly on the wall. I really, really would. But, yeah, share your thoughts below. Tell me what you guys think. If Fury doesn't fight Wilder next, do you see it as a duck? Or do you believe that Deontay Wilder needs to swallow his pride and actually fight on ESPN? Also, does this affect the potential Anthony Joshua fight? Maybe, because I believe Joshua has an exclusive deal on DAZN. He certainly has an exclusive deal on Sky Sports. And now Fury has an exclusive deal on BT with an exclusive deal on ESPN. So yeah, maybe that fight's also less likely now. So we're in a position where all three heavyweights are on totally different networks. Maybe this makes the Wilder-Joshua fight more possible again. Who knows? It's going to be interesting over the next 12 months or so. And yeah, I'm intrigued to see who ends out on top. Share your thoughts below. Peace.